Well, good afternoon, my stitchy friends. Welcome to the Needle Bug. My name is Karen, and today is Saturday, January 22nd, 2022. Thought it was about time we do another stitch with me. It's been a little bit since I've done one. I want to welcome anyone that's new to the channel and hope you find something here that you like and enjoy, and will continue to come back and subscribe. And to all of you that have been following me for any length of time, thank you so very much. And thank you for returning to have a little stitch with me today. So today, as you see, it's something that you don't usually see me working on. It's something a little different. I joined the uh, Donna Bayless by the Bay Needle Arts, her Home Sweet Home Stitch Along, and thought, you know what, I better get working on this since I am already November, December, 3 months behind. So I got some catching up to do. I need to get stitching. So I actually just started it this morning and put some stitches in so that I had some places to count off of today to uh, have a little stitch and chat with all of you. So I think I'll uh, keep on stitching here. Um, I am, like I said, you don't often see me stitching this type of chart, but this had houses on it, and I'm kind of a sucker for houses. I do like stitching them. So I think each one of the charts that come out, I mean, this is, you know what you're getting every month. This is not a mystery stitch along. Uh, it's just like her other ones that have, been distributed so many, or a section a month over a period of time. So this is the same thing. But I really just kind of fell in love with it when I saw it. So of course I had to join. Just one of those things. Now, the one thing is, unfortunately, it does not go into Pattern Keeper. At least not that I'm aware of. So that gave me an opportunity to check out what's it called? Markup. Oh wait, let me look here. Markup XP, I believe it's called. Words here this morning, Karen. It's the software that has come out that works on both an iPad or iOS as well as Android. Um, I believe from what I'm seeing that it is fairly popular. This is the first. This is the first I'm using it. Um, I shouldn't say that. I tried to put a heaven and earth chart in it. Um, and I think I know what happened. I was a little frustrated because I have that same chart in Pattern Keeper. And when I put it into this markup app, the stitch count was off by like, I don't know, 10,000 stitches, something to that effect. it was a rather large number. Now, what I think happened, so I mean this is not to talk down this app, because so far with this project I'm rather enjoying it. Um, but I think what happens when you put a heaven and earth in, it doesn't necessarily take out, the way Pattern Keeper does, those areas that are grayed for the overlap. So it is counting those rows of overlap twice. So if you have a chart that is, well, a lot of pages, your stitch counts are going to be off by a lot of stitches, because it's, like I said, it's counting that overlap twice. Now, I guess you can, and I just didn't fiddle with it enough. I guess you can go in and adjust that so that you can get rid of those overlap areas. What did I just do here? Um, but I didn't fuss with it to do that, because, like I said, I have it in Pattern Keeper. I just was looking. I think I got some slip stitches here. I just was looking to compare the two. So, always like to see what's new out there, and, maybe always on the lookout for something that maybe is a little better than what we have. Or what I've come to the conclusion is that Markup, I want to say it's Markup XP or Markup XR. I it's one of those. It's one of those. Um, but I've come to the conclusion that if something doesn't go into Pattern Keeper, like these particular charts, they do go, as the PDF does go into this markup app, and it's pretty straightforward and simple to use. Let me finish this stitch here and I'll give you a peek at it. Um, it kind of operates very similar to Pattern Keeper. You can search for your stitches just like in Pattern Keeper. You can highlight your stitches. So let me sneak in underneath here. There we go. Okay. Oops. Oh, go away. I always hit a button that's something that I shouldn't. But here now I'm in. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit, then you can see this better. And then we'll zoom back in when we want to stitch again. There seems to be a lag here in my computer. Okay, so right now I'm in the markup. I'm in the markup mode. If I want to search, I can search. And this one, just like in Pattern Keeper, is to move your stuff around. So I stitched these stitches, so I can just highlight them like I did in Pattern Keeper. So this part is exactly the same. The thing that it does not do, and I kind of wish it did, is when you highlight a symbol, like Pattern Keeper highlights, you have your key right on the side, so you don't have to flip around to find out what number floss that is. This, you can save your key in another section, but you would still have to flip to that to get it. You can put a picture in, and I did not do that. Oh, oh, here's something new I just found. I didn't see that before. Okay. Learning something new here. This software is all new to me too. So, um, let me switch hands here. Okay. Now I lost it. Come back wherever you are. Okay. Figure, doesn't it make a dummy out of? But here you can put lots of patterns in just like you can um, Pattern Keeper. And as you see, I was messing around with trying to put stuff in and see what it would do. So here's the markup. Here's the pan and the zoom. So I can just, zoom around to wherever I need to go. And if I want to highlight my symbol, I hit on the magnifier. Then I can go down here and come on. I can tap and that will highlight all of that symbol for me. You can even change the sensitivity, and I believe that's like how dark that highlighting shows up. So, and then, like I said, when I go in the markup mode, then I can mark these off. Now, what I really did like is if you go under the wheel, under the settings, it lets you configure your like you can adjust the grid if you need to. You can show grid lines or not show grid lines. You can pick your colors uh, for what you say want your highlight color to be, what you want your grid diagonal lines to be, what you want your part color to be. I mean, you can pick all of those. Um, you can, when you highlight, you can just do the current page or you can do the whole chart. It gives you a choice of opacity of the markup. And you have functions where you can mark all the stitches on a page, all the symbols within that cell. It gives you, you can reset it and you can have it go closed on you. Oh, Lordy. So bear with me here. Like I said, this app, I'm just testing it out. I'm not 100% familiar with it yet. So let's see. You can do the colors. You can also set your stitch count so that you can put a target, say you want to do 200 stitches a day, so that it tells you when you've accomplished that. And you can also change the cutoff time for the day. So for those people that stitch into the wee hours of the morning, you can maybe make your day end at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever of these choices that you would like to make it. Um, I know with Pattern Keeper, that was one of the things that was asked, and then that cutoff time was changed to, I forget, 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. It was changed. It didn't stop at midnight. So you can do that here. But what I really liked that I was playing with and I really liked is over here you can put in you can put in the key so you don't have to flip around as much. You can put in a picture if you want, But there's also this info tab. So when you click on that, you get this information. So far today, I stitched 263 stitches. I don't have any parked. I've completed 11%, 11.6%. Now it says I still have 2010 to do. So what I'm not sure of is that just actual stitches, or is that also counting the blank areas? I don't know that. I don't know that answer at this point in time. I would have to do the math of how many stitches are on this page and see. I'm kind of thinking it's even counting your blank area. I'm kind of thinking. But like I said, I am not going to swear to that because I honestly don't know. But then if you move over on that page, you can also see again the number of stitches you stitched today, how long you were stitching today. Once you have more data in, it will give you your average stitch rate per day, your average time, how long it will take under using that data till you have it finished, and it tells you how many days you've actively been stitching on it. So that part of this program I do like better than Pattern Keeper. This gives you more information right within the app, whereas with Pattern Keeper, uh, if you want this data, you're really kind of collecting it yourself. Yes, you can go back and see your history by changing the date on your tablet. Like you can go into your settings and under date and time, you can set it back to January 19th and then look in that chart and see, okay, what did I stitch on the 19th? But this gives you a lot of other information where it tells you the hours, it tells you tentatively when you finished, it tells you how long it will take you to finish, and I think that's rather nice. I rather enjoyed that part. So there's even a part where you can get a calendar where it actually shows you, okay, on this day, I stitched this many stitches. So that's also nice. It's a quick place to look. And it gives you, trying to go over here, gives you a graph. So once you get a bit further, as I said, once you have more data in, it tells you. There are videos on this on YouTube. So I think, oh, there's also a place to put in notes. Yeah. If you want to make notes on your project, you get a section where you can go in and write notes about it, like, you use it kind of sort of like a journal if you want, so that you can put that in there, and it gives you the same features as like a Word document does, which is kind of nice too. So I'm really leaning towards um, using this app when things don't go into Pattern Keeper. It really, it really, it really is kind of nice. I'm happy with it, and I think if I remember correctly, I think you do have to purchase it. I mean, you get a trial like you did with Pattern Keeper, but then I think you do have to purchase it to keep using it. And I I actually purchased it a while ago, and I truthfully don't remember how much it cost. I purchased it because I looked at it and what I briefly read this description and what it did and thought, oh, this might be a nice alternative to Pattern Keeper. And as it turns out, it is. So, yeah, and I think it was a one-time purchase. Like I said, I did it a while, but then I was stitching so much on my Heaven and Earth designs that I kind of forgot about it. And then when this came along, because I'll tell you what, and those of you that are using Pattern Keeper or some type of electronic means of marking off your stitches, once you do that, it's very, very hard to go back to using a paper pattern. I just find it very difficult anymore to to use paper. And the other nice thing about this markup app, because the only thing I use an Android for is Pattern Keeper. I don't, all my other technical gadgets are Apple. So they're all iOS. My laptop is a MacBook Pro. My phone is an iPhone. My tablet is an iPad, except for the Samsung that I have Pattern Keeper on. That's obviously an Android. So this markup I can use on my iPad. I can use it on my Samsung tablet. I can use it on my phone. So if I want to travel or if I want to take stitching with me, as long as I have exported my progress, just like you do in Pattern Keeper, to a cloud service, whether it be um, Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever, um, I can then pull it up on another device and stitch from that. So say I'm going to a doctor's appointment, for example, and we all know how that can be, where sometimes you sit and wait and you take your stitching along because you know you're going to sit and wait. I wouldn't have to carry a tablet. I could just I have my phone with me anyway, so I could just stitch from my phone. And then as long as I was done and I again saved it to the cloud, whichever cloud service you use, then you're good for when you get back home and you can use your tablet or your computer or what. I should look. I want Before I say computer, I should make sure that it would go, say, on your laptop. I'm not 100% sure of that either, but that's something. Oops, sorry. That's something to check out. Oh, phooey, unthread my needle. Why do I always do that? So that's pretty much my assessment of Markup RXP or something to that effect. It's called. It's in the App Store and it's in the Play Store if you want to check it out. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with them. I just, like most of what I talk about, I've gotten it, I've used it, and this is pretty much what I think of it. If it was something that I personally didn't like, I would say that. But I think this app has its time and place and for things that Pattern Keeper can't do. Because face it, truth be told, or again, my opinion of truth be told, is I don't know that Pattern Keeper is going to come out with an iOS version. I know it's been talked about, but my understanding is it's very hard to get things. It has to be approved by Apple, and that's not an easy accomplishment. So I'm not going to hold my breath. And for those of you that are iOS users, your heaven and earth charts do go in to this markup app. And the other thing it doesn't do is it doesn't collate your pages. So it isn't going to make it one great big chart. It's going to be page by page, just like just like when we used oh, what was the name of it? Like Goodreader only had it page by page. Like Easy PDF, it was page by page. So, you're really, bottom line, that part is no different than when you were working on the other PDF apps that didn't put the chart all together for you as one big chart. So really, is that big a deal? And the fact that when it does your stitch count, it's counting your shaded areas or your overlaps twice. So again, yeah, that's kind of a little, I guess, for lack of a better word, annoying, but you can change that by using those align grid lines and getting rid of those shaded areas or the overlap so that your stitch count is more accurate. So there's options. There's options. So that's my little to do with markup. And now I have to mark up so I don't get confused, which that's a short trip too. Now, the other product I recently purchased is, you all know I have the Nurge stands, okay? The sit-on stand and the table stand that can also be used as a floor stand. Let me grab. Oops. But I recently purchased and I have the Nurge wooden hoops, which are very, very much like the Hardwood Manor hoops. But I saw these before, but I just wasn't sure about them. But Nurge also makes, here we go, a plastic hoop. Let me zoom out. Here we go. Nurge also makes a plastic hoop, and that's what, as you can see, that's what I have this piece on. But seriously, in all honesty, I'm going to say I almost like this better than a Q-snap. They come in 4 sizes. They're numbered just like the hoops are, the wooden hoops. It's a number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. This one, this little one here is number 1. This bigger one that I have my home sweet home on is a number 3. And now I'm doing this home sweet home on 28 count mushroom Lugana 1/1. So my design area is going to be 6 inches wide by 12 inches long. And I can fit that 6-inch width in here very comfortably, so that I'm really not going to have to move this until I get to those sections that are down past the height of this hoop. So I'm rather, and tight, drum tight, tighter than a Q-snap holds it. And it doesn't, you know how your Q-snaps loosen up over time? This is not happening. That's not happening with this hoop. It's grooved similar to, let me think of the name, a Morgan hoop. So see, it has that groove in it, which holds your fabric tighter than just the smooth edges. So and again, I just speak for myself. If people want to try something, go for it. I just like to let you know stuff that I found and how it works for me. And I would say if you'd want to give these hoops a try, go for it. I am rather enjoying using it. And I don't often stitch anything this small, because this is maybe, stitching area is about 1, 2, 3 inches by 1, 2, 3, 3 inches by 4 inches. So it isn't often that I'm stitching anything this small. However, it is rather enjoyable because I'm stitching Long Dog Sampler's Legal High on 36 count 1/1 with a Vera Soie Surfine. And to put it in this hoop gives me really a rather nice working area. And the other nice thing is they're very light. They're very light. They're easy to hold. My wrist doesn't get tired. And again, those of you that have been with me for a while know that I've had trouble with my wrist to the point where I've had surgery on it to have an arthritic bone removed. And then that area was filled in with a tendon that they took. Well, they cut the tendon higher up in my arm and they threaded it down through and coiled it around to fill in the area where that bone was. So I had what they call basal joint arthritis, and that has much improved my hand. I was to the point where I could not even hold a plate to rinse it under the sink before I put it in the dishwasher. I had absolutely no strength in this hand at all, and no matter what I did, it hurt. It really, really hurt. So, the surgery was, of course, the best option at that time. So, but this is very light. It doesn't tire out my hand. I can hold it without a problem. So, something you may want to check out. Just offer it it's something that's out there, um, as another tool. So, what else did I have? Let me check my note here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, oh, that's something. Yeah, I put on my list. Oh, let me zoom you back in here so you can see. Zoom you back in. Here we go. Uh, I made a little list of topics here so that sometimes, as you all know, I tend to run out of chitter chatter, and I don't like to. I know you guys like when I speak as opposed to just playing music for these Stitch with Me, so I try to come up with some other subjects. So one thing I put on my list is, are a lot of you, I'm curious, are a lot of you participating in the challenges and setting goals for 2022? I just am curious. I know I did go back into the survival of the stitchiest group, and yes, that in a sense is a challenge. Um, but my at least the team I'm on, we work as a group, so it isn't that I have to stitch 7,000 stitches by myself to meet the expectation. It's as a group, we stitch whatever the required number of stitches is, unless it's specifically stated otherwise. So, I mean, that's a fun thing to do, and I don't really see that as a challenge. I just see that as a means of getting more accomplished in your stitching, of being able to keep you motivated so that maybe instead of something taking 5 years like Stitcher's Retreat did, that maybe I can get it finished in 3, you know, and that's how I see that group. But there's also other groups out there where, um, there are challenges, and you're completing, uh, so many stitches to get to whatever or to do whatever, and you have to commit it to a project. Like the 22,022 challenge that's out there. If I have that correct, that you designate one project to get 22,000 stitches on. So that you have to, in order to work on that challenge, you always have to work on the same project. And a lot of challenges are that way, where you have to, full coverage fanatics, in addition to the 22 and 22, has the wonders of the world, where to complete each wonder, you have to do 5,000 stitches. But again, you're committing it to just one project. And there was another, what's the other group? Semi-sane stitchers. That one, the January challenge, you had to commit to, if I remember, and I might have gotten it wrong, but you were committing to just one project. So being able to double dip between groups, so that you can double dip between groups, you end up, and if you're a monogamous stitcher, I'm sure it works out fine. For the most part, especially if I'm on a mission like I was to finish Stitcher's Retreat, I can be monogamous when I have a good reason to be monogamous, like focusing on getting Stitcher's Retreat finished because I really, really, really wanted that done. But a lot of times I like to switch and work on something different, work on whatever is calling me on any given day. So I'm really, really debating if I want to continue. I mean, I started out gung ho on my challenge, on the challenges. I was like really, okay, Karen, you're getting out of frame here for some reason. There we go. I was really like into it, and really wanted to, stitch to complete things. And yes, I'm working on the Christmas stockings for my daughter and my son-in-law that I would like to finish this year. And I could rotate just between the two of them. However, there are times like this, like here, I committed to this stitch along. So yes, I can use my stitches in Survival of the Stitchiest because that's flexible. You can change your project whenever you want and count your stitches. And I'm really cool with that. But that would be the only thing that I could use these stitches for. So I'm really unsettled. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to keep on with the other challenges? And to be honest, historically, this is the way it's gone in previous years. I start out all gung ho. Yeah, 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 I'm going to do this challenge. Yes, I'm going to complete this. I'm going to get these 100,000 stitches done by the end of the year. And a lot of times, yes, I do well more than 100,000 stitches. And I start out all enthusiastic, but then like now already it's not even the end of January and I'm second guessing of, do I do I really want to do this? Or would I rather just stitch what I want to stitch when I want to stitch it? So I'm just curious about how some of you all feel about that, and would be interested in hearing your thoughts on challenges. I mean, I think challenges are good and they're motivating. The part I get frustrated with is having to commit it to just a certain project. And I don't join the groups that say, okay, this month you have to, I mean, there's a theme of the month, so to speak, and you have to find a fabric that meets that criteria. Like, okay, this month it has to be something, a flower or related to flowers, uh, or trees, or a color, or the many, many things that, the group comes up with that you have to match your project to, and then come up with how that project relates to that theme. Yeah, I'm not good at that either. Those kind just, they're just not for me. So I don't even join those kinds because, first of all, I don't have, well, I have my share of works in progress. However, I don't have that many, and I really don't know that I want to start something just to um, just to meet the challenge. I that doesn't interest me in doing that. So again, just curious what your thoughts are on challenges and what kind you like to do, what kind you don't like to do. Um, like I said, I can't quite make up my mind what it is that I want to do. So, yeah, what can I say? What can I say? And did I have anything else on my list? Oh, it wants my face. My poor phone always wants my face. Let me see. Oh, okay. Have any of you watched? Everybody watches him. Everybody watch Chris Cross Stitch? If you haven't, you really must. The guy is fabulous. Fabulous and so positive and so grateful. And his videos, yes, he shows some cross stitch, but he does many other things during his video, and they are so very entertaining and they're worth watching. So, I mean, if you don't watch him or you haven't subscribed to him, go check him out. He's awesome. He's just awesome. And then I watched Stitchman Darcy last night, who is also a hoot. He makes you laugh. He really makes you laugh. And their theme, and I think they have such an excellent point and an excellent idea about being positive, spreading positivity and spreading kindness. And I think bottom line is this is a very kind and caring community. It truly is. But I think our goal should be to extend that outward from this community and make this world a better place. Because right now, and I'm not gonna get into it a whole lot because it's too controversial, but right now, this world is not the best place, and there's um, so many things out there these days that are just not right. Um, the shootings, I just heard of another one, yes, last night watching the news, and that's just wrong. And like I said, I'm not gonna get into big discussions about that because there's always 2 sides to every story, and there's 2 sets of opinions on what needs to happen or not need to happen. But I think as individuals, to be more positive, we can do that. And it starts with just taking on that responsibility as a person and making an effort to spread that. And hopefully then it'll catch on and people can start spreading that. And if everybody every person in this floss tube community did one nice thing a day for someone else, whether it be just to say, hold a door for somebody, or just to say, hey, you know what, I really like your outfit today, or oh, you got a haircut, it looks really, really nice. To be kind, to be thoughtful, it may just start to catch on, and we can change the tone of what's going on out there in the world today. Granted, again, not gonna get into a big discussion of it. The pandemic is what the pandemic is, and, um, we can't change the fact that that's not is it going to go away? I don't know. Um, are there things that can be done that can help? Probably. Uh, but that, I think, has caused well, has been part of what has happened in this world that has made things so controversial, and the we's and the they's and the one side against the other side, and I think we need to just bring that all together and spread positivity and spread kindness, and those just the little thing can sometimes make all the difference in the world. And how many times do those things that make a big difference start with just one person or just a few people? I mean, to be honest, I think in the news and in the media, we need to hear more positive things instead of negative things. We need to hear things that people have done well. And in all honesty, that is one of the reasons that I started doing my heart hanger sessions as live sessions. Yes, I did videos on that several years ago, and you can just, you can sit and just watch them, and you're getting the same information basically as what you're getting in the ones that I'm doing right now. The difference is these are live. People can ask questions right then and there. People can get those answers right then and there. I started a Discord where people can post a picture of their work and say, "Hey, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? How can I do this better?" And I can actually see what they've stitched to be able to direct them on what what needs to be done differently, Or more importantly, I can say, guess what? You have done a phenomenal job. Job well done. Keep up the good work. I am so proud of you. That, people, is why I'm doing those videos live. People need to hear I have done a good job. I'm doing a good job. For me to see how people have done and to get the feedback of them showing me their work, whether it be they send me an email or whether they post it on the Discord or they get however their means of communicating with me, and everyone that's taking that class, and really that it's all at the end of my videos. All my contact information is there. You have my flosstube, you have my email, you have my Instagram, you have my Facebook. So there's many ways that I can be contacted. But when people show me what they've done, they show me their work, that gives me feedback on the job that I'm doing. Am I giving information that people can learn that skill without sitting right next to me, without, without my physically holding their hand? Yes, I'm virtually holding their hand, but I think people need more positive reinforcement, more "You're doing things great. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm proud of you." People need that, and we need to spread that. Just my opinion, folks, just my opinion. And you know what? You guys, for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know that I'm kind of a, although you're not seeing me today because I'm just showing my stitching, but I'm kind of what you see is what you get person. And I will always be upfront with you and tell you like I see it, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And if someone shows me a piece from this class, for instance, and it wasn't, there's mistakes in it. Let's just say that. Let's just say there's mistakes. I'm not going to say to them, "Oh, wow, you did a terrible job. This is awful. You need to rip this out and start over." No, that's not how we handle that. That's not encouraging. And I think people need that encouragement and that support. What I would say to them is, okay, let's look at this together. Do you see this here? How does that look to you? Can we evaluate this together? What do you think of this? And then let's talk about that and let's look at, okay, maybe this is pulled a little too tight. Maybe this isn't pulled too tight. Maybe I missed a stitch here. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe I shared a hole that I shouldn't have. But it's not to be a, "Oh my God, you really messed this up" kind of thing. It's, okay, I see some mistakes, but let's look at them together and how can we, not how can you, how can we fix that? So I do think that that's how it should be, and that's what I hope to achieve in doing live sessions of instruction like that. So I hope all of you find that something that you're interested in. And I'm always open to having people contact me and ask their questions, or ask, well, how do I do this, or how do you do that, or what do you think of this? That's always an option. And I've told the people that are participating in these live sessions to feel free to do that. And by the way, they are free. There is no charge. It's not like some sessions or classes that you take that you have to pay to take them. I'm sure that there are people out there on YouTube or whatever and I know you can do it now on YouTube, that you can do sessions just for subscribers. And subscribers have to do something special in order to be able to be considered that special subscriber that is privy to those special things. I don't do that. What I do is out there for everyone. And what I try to be is supportive and encouraging of your stitching. So that's just who I am and who I will continue to be. So, as a reminder for anyone who hasn't yet participated or is interested in those sessions on Hardanger, the first two sessions are up on YouTube and will continue to be there. Uh, there's an A and a B for each of the first two sessions, because one was done in the morning, the other was done in the afternoon. And I left them both up because of different questions that were asked. And in order for everyone to get the full information, um, and question, what somebody didn't ask in the morning, somebody might have asked in the evening. So there's valuable information in both sessions that you may want to watch both sessions. I will do the same thing for the session that comes up this Wednesday. They're held on a Wednesday. They're 10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time and 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern Standard Time. So if anyone is interested, you're welcome to continue to join in. You may have some catching up to do, but that's okay. We'll work with that. And um, send me an email, and I will give you the link to the information that I have in my Dropbox so that you can maybe catch up ahead of time. So that was my shameless plug. In addition, for talking about positivity and being encouraging and supportive. And the reason I bring that up, and it's unfortunate because I do see it on groups in Facebook. I do see it where someone asked a question, and I'm not going to mention names, but I notice it's a few people in particular that I see it from. But someone that will ask a question or ask for help. And there are those people out there that put the sarcastic comments or the rude comment. And again, my opinion only, but that is just wrong. Part of me, and I don't, but part of me wants to add to their sarcasm or to their rudeness Didn't your mother teach you if you didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all? However, I think that just for me to put that down just contributes to the problem, and I don't want to do that. So, again, all the more reason to be supportive and encouraging because you know what? We all know there's only one stupid question. There's only one. And that question is the one you didn't ask because there is no stupid questions other than the one you didn't ask. So I will get off my soapbox. And now that I have yammered at you for over an hour, and let's see, how many stitches did I do? Probably not as many as I thought. Okay, I'm at 297, which means maybe I did 30. But isn't that typical? Oh, folks, it is what it is. What can I say? What can I say? What I can say is thank you so very much for joining me today. Thank you so very much for allowing me to visit in your home with you today. I hope I didn't bore you to death. But please stay happy, stay healthy, be encouraging, be supportive. And until next time, happy stitching. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.